In this video, I'm going to show you how to super clean a DEEBOT robot vacuum. This will be useful no matter what, but especially if you have pets, because their hair can just get caught up in all kinds of parts here, and I'm going to show you how to kind of take it apart carefully and clean it and put it back together. First thing I want to do is turn this off. And if you didn't know, you just hold down this button and it's off. And then we're going to flip it over. And this is something you know how to do already. I'm going to take out this canister and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll put that off to the side. And the second thing you probably know how to do, you can see I've had mine for many years, but you take this out and then you can take out the roller just like this, lift it up. So that's probably as far as you've gone, if I had to guess. I'll get into more in depth with the rest of the vacuum, but first, let me tell you how I like to clean this. So the vacuum does come with this thing right here, but honestly, I have not really used it. This could be really handy it has a little razor, like if you have dog hair or pet hair, you can get in here and cut all of this, and then it'll make it easier to pull it out. But what I really like to use is a hooked pick. You don't have to. This process is going to work the same whether you have this or not. But all you want to do is just start pulling all of this out. And hopefully you're not grossed out by hair, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I just start kind of pulling it out like this and tearing it. And if you get a big clump like that, you can just cut it in half, just like that. I go all the way down one side and then pull it out like that. And then I go to flip it, kind of rotate it, and on the other side, get a hold of it and grab it all out of there. And then you can really just get in here and grab as much as you can with your hands. I had to wear gloves the first time I did this. Super cleaning. I won't say why, but it was pretty gross, but this isn't bad. You pet your dog, you can do this. And then for all of this right here, there's hair built up in here that's been just collecting for months or for years. So you can just go along with a pick and kind of break it up like that, and then pull it out. It depends on how clean you want to get this. You can spend a whole bunch of time doing this. And again, you could try using this and pulling it out like that, but it doesn't really get in there too well. So that's why I like to use the pick. So I spent a little bit of time on here, and I could definitely get this cleaner. It depends on how much time you want to spend on this, but I'm going to be okay with that. Some of this stuff is really, really in there. So if you work at it with a pick, you will be able to get it out. Pieces like this, which are unfortunately falling apart, I wonder if you can get replacement parts. I'll have to look into that. This whole thing is something that I can wash in a sink, so I'm going to put that off to the side. There's a couple pieces like that. I'll put that over here, and then we are going to dive back into the unit right here, and I want to show you some parts that are actually removable that if you may not have known. So right here, you could obviously, this is a string, pull this out, and then you can clean these as best as you can with that pick like this, just cutting that hair and whatever else is in there. So to take these off, what I do is just pull them off like this. And I'm not sure if they're worn out or what, because you're supposed to take a small screwdriver and this off right here, and then that whole metal piece comes off. But then you have a problem with that, putting it on, and if I can pull them off without doing this, maybe I'll get new ones and maybe they'll actually stay on. They haven't fallen off, so I think it's okay. I'm just gonna pull mine off like this. And you can see there's stuff in here that you can get out. And anything like that could affect the performance of the vacuum, including in here. Just make sure this is all cleared out. You could even, if you had like a blowgun or some compressed air, you could spray in there. But this is another thing that I can wash off in a sink. So I'll put that off to the side and then go over here, pull this one off too. See, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Get this out of here and then right in here, work that right out of there. Something that's worth noting before we move on. I cleaned this a couple months ago, so it's not bad right here, but you can kind of scrape all this stuff out too. And again, blow it out with compressed air or vacuum it with another vacuum, or just pull it out with your hands. But all in here too will get some hair. You want to prevent it from getting in the mechanical parts like that. Now, anywhere you can. Oh, you see that little clump that just came out when I pulled that? That's exactly what I'm talking about. See if you can get stuff like that out without damaging anything. There we go. Now this roller right here is actually removable as well. You see all the little hair down in here, but you can get in here and just carefully pry this up. There we go. So now you can grab all this, get that out of there, and this right here. We can rinse that down, so I'll put that in that pile. And then if you look in here, again, there is some stuff. Don't go sticking the pick in there too far because there are electronics, obviously, in this, and you don't want to go in those holes there. But just spin this around and make sure it's fairly clean in there. Grab anything you can. I'm sure these wheels somehow can come out, but I'm not going to go that far. What I will do is I'll pull it down like this and try and sneak in here and grab stuff like this. If I see big clumps, I'm not going to go in there too far, but stuff like that I can easily grab, I'll take out of there. Anything that might be in here, if there's big clumps in here, which I don't see any, I can spin this around. Look on both sides. It looks pretty good. Same thing over here. There we go. Again, you just don't want that on the inside of your vacuum because over time, it's going to affect the performance. Now this step is totally up to you. You just want to be really careful because I'm going to take this battery cover off. And the reason is because right here, hair can work its way in there. So I want to see if there's anything in here that I can clean out. Just definitely don't want to mess with the battery. So these two Phillips screws, and then carefully lift this cover up, and you can see some hair got caught in there. So I'll go in here very carefully and pull some of this loose stuff out. If you want to, you can remove this. And the best thing to do in here really is to vacuum the vacuum. I don't know if you saw, but when I did that, a big chunk of stuff came flying out of here. Let's see if I can get another one. Put this back in, just like it was, and put that cover back on. Might as well vacuum that though. And if you don't have another vacuum, just do the best you can by hand. These tabs go in here first, like that, and then you put the screws in. So as far as removable parts, that's all I'm gonna take apart here. I'm sure you could take out these screws right here, 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 and take this entire thing apart, but the vacuum's working fine. I don't want to break anything, and it's pretty clean. So all I'm going to do now is use my vacuum, clean as much of this up. I'll get all this stuff sucked up and go on to cleaning these parts in the sink. So the canister, you're gonna open this up. You're gonna open it up like you're emptying it. This one filter comes out like this. You can see that is pretty dirty. It has 3 filters. So now you have this right here. Pull this out, and then out comes this little filter too. So we can start by tapping all that dust and dirt out of there. And this one is fabric. So you might want to be careful about washing this one. I'm not going to. I'm just going to get as much dirt out of here as possible, and then I will rinse these ones off. You can also use soap, but you should be able to just rinse it out with water like this. You can clean out the canister itself. This is the only other part I'm gonna clean in the sink. You can clean anything else you want. I'm just gonna do this one. We'll just rinse it. You could use a toothbrush and some soap again and just scrub this out, but mine's not too bad. Now I can take these pieces, and it's actually very hot outside today, so this works out good. And I'm gonna put these in the sun and let them dry out completely before I reinstall any of them. While that stuff is drying out there, you can just wipe this down if you want to. It's just gonna get dirty again, but might as well while we're here. Then we can put these things back. Just snap on like that. Pop it right on there. And this little ball. And this right here, the small square, goes in here. You probably know that. And then the big square goes in just like this. Everything's dry, we can reassemble. So this goes just like this. You can definitely get new filters if you wanted. These ones are fine, there's no holes or anything. They clean up nice. I'll probably get a new one of these, to tell you the truth. Put that in there. And then this goes just like that with this tab so you can grab it. And close that. Throw this back in here. And then this piece, you can see there is a little moisture that got in here, and I actually did look up, and you can get replacement parts for this, including this. So I'm gonna put this right back on here, and then I'm gonna order some parts, and then I'm gonna make a video on how to replace them. But that is how you super clean a DEEBOT. Again, you could probably go further by taking this all apart, and yours might be a little different, but for this one, this model DN622.31 DEEBOT, that's how you do it. So, hope the video helps. Thanks for watching.